I swear it looked like uncircumcised. Nobody believed me. Where do you see it? You, where do you see it?
Yes. Yes, it would. But that requires
Sir, we
practice a lot. And has to be it's not. I have friends that
still need to say practice.
so it has to be spot on.
You still get the same practice thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you really love doing, it is definitely it's a good experience. I've never personally been wrestling. I mean, for people, I didn't have those things. Not anymore. So I never wrestled. There's not really a lot of double days.
I got mine on that.
You understand me? Yes, you understand me. You need
All right, 4 minutes. 4
That's 5
minutes.
minutes, right?
4.5 minutes.
It went away. It did say 5 minutes. I'm not lying.
You're just getting closer and closer
Processional. Processional.
I need to play this one yet. I'm gonna be something about it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Courtney Davis, Secretary of the East Rockingham Senior Class. On behalf of the Class of 2022, I welcome you all to our commencement ceremony. If you would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and stay risen for our choir's performance of the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing for the choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose proud stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does it wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you. You may be seated. Dr. Scheichel, Mr. Swagger, faculty, families, friends, and members of the senior class, I'd like to formally welcome you to the East Rockingham Class of 2022 graduation. My fellow class officers and I are so proud of how far we've come these last 4 years and are excited to express that to you through our speeches this evening. This ceremony is a celebration of not only our academic accomplishments, but also of this new beginning. So with that being said, in the words of Taylor Swift, I hope you're all feeling 22. Thank you.
I realize that there are some with starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Na 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 na.
Take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Oh, when the water rises, you build a wall. Oh, when the crowd screams out, they're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay.
Hope when the moment comes,
You'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived. Hope that you spend your days, but they all add up. Oh, and when that sun goes down, raise your cup. Oh, wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. Until that moment comes, I'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived.
Hello and welcome to the 2022 East Rockingham High School graduation ceremony. Thank you to the administration, faculty and staff, and class of 2022 for the opportunity to speak today and represent you all as class president. And of course, thank you to all of the family, friends, and loved ones in attendance to support their graduates. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Karina Peachy. I have attended East Rockingham High School for my entire high school career and Massanutten Regional Governor's School for Integrated Environmental Science and Technology for the past 2 years. I have simultaneously attended Laurel Ridge Community College, previously Lord Fairfax Community College, and I graduated with my associate's degree in general studies last month. Graduating college before high school, pretty cool. Beginning in 2 weeks, I'm excited to attend the School of Engineering and Applied Science at the University of Virginia as a Clark Scholar with an intended major of biomedical engineering. These past few months have consisted of numerous firsts and lasts. The last first day of school, the last cross-country meet, the last high school exam, the first day spent on my new college campus, and the first day repping UVA's blue and orange rather than East Rock's red and black. These firsts and lasts are symbols of beginnings and ends. Beginnings that represent a new stage in our lives as we move into the real world, and the ends that allow us to have closure on our primary education. I have been able to reminisce on these 4 years at East Rockingham and focus on how life has changed from freshman year to senior year, and I can confidently say that we have experienced quite the change. From the world before a pandemic, to the world immersed in a pandemic, and then hopefully to the world recovering from a pandemic. The world before the pandemic was a world in which we were a group of bright-faced freshmen, ready to take on the terrifying world of high school. Our fears revolved around finding our way through the seemingly endless halls in a new school, deciding who our high school friends would be, and adjusting to teenage life. We did far too many TikTok dances and thought we were grown up. Our class got to go to a normal homecoming dance and plenty of winning East Rock football games. Our youthful innocence continued into sophomore year when many of us began to discover who we wanted to be as individuals. We focused on what classes to take and were anxious to get our driver's licenses. We did not give much thought to the rest of our time at East Rock, expecting a normal experience. Then we moved into the world in a pandemic as we received the notorious notification of our COVID spring break. This 2-week spring break turned into 2 months and then 2 years. Our junior year was plagued by the sadness of being locked away from our friends and distaste for being kept out of school. We had an abundance of time at home, filled with watching new releases on Netflix and going on solitary walks with our family. We as a class lack memories together as we were kept far apart, but we have many things in common from that time, such as the awkward Zoom interactions and constant technology failures. Our senior year has moved us into a world recovering from a pandemic. We are relearning normalcy while we try to figure out what we want to do with the rest of our lives. I know that I can speak for all of us when I say that it is not an easy task. Regardless of the state of the world, our class persevered and remained dedicated and has achieved things that I am proud of, and I know that all of you are proud of them too. We have taken the global situation and used it to blossom, from freshmen lost in the halls at East Rock to confident adults readying themselves to start their future, wherever it may be. Everyone on this stage and in the audience knows that we have had a high school experience like no other and is proud of our accomplishments. I am proud of our athletes who are successful in showing our values of sportsmanship in every game, match, and meet. I am proud of our musicians who have developed expertise and nurtured community in the midst of adversity. I am proud of those seniors with special skills, such as the electricians, carpenters, and welders. I am proud of the artists and the caretakers who are instilled with devotion and passion. I am proud of those pursuing their dreams, whether in science, the humanities, the workforce, or the military. And I am proud of those of us still figuring out what we want to do with the rest of our lives and using this vital time to explore. While these recent years of change have been taxing at times, we should remember that change is constant and inevitable. We've had a lot of practice in learning how we will respond to change. As Confucius said, only the wisest and stupidest of men never change. Class of 2022, think of how you have changed in the last 4 years. Like me, you're happy with some of the changes and not so happy with others. We have moved past the simplicity of childhood, but gained the knowledge and pride of adulthood. I've had big changes and lessons, including starting my first real job at Trinity Presbyterian Church and getting my license and a little bit of freedom with it too. But I have also had little changes and lessons. Some changes were due to our own choices, and some changes we had very little choice about. Those that we could not control, the pandemic or societal issues, still provided us with a choice of how to respond to the change. Did we respond with hope, optimism, and love? Did we respond with violence or hostility? The choices that were ours, from academics to relationships to personal convictions, all laid out possible paths for us to take. Now, think about the ways you hope to change in the next 4 years, and which values and practices you hope to keep the same. Do you hope to become more patient with yourself or others, or hope to meet new people and gain new friends, or hope to maintain the friendships that have lasted the test of time that high school provides? Again, these will be both big and little changes. Looking back at times I was faced with change, I cannot say that I ever regret the choices that were to be kind, or to stand up for a belief, or to act out against injustice. However, I regret when I chose fear, or complacency, or an unwillingness to act. But I have chosen to learn from those times in order not to repeat them. Our life together as ERHS students has been brief, a mere 4 years of a lifetime ahead of changes and choices. The choices are starting now, choices that seem daunting as there's such pressure to have the whole future figured out, but these choices will be here when each of us is ready. The next time we as a class meet back together for homecomings, family events, or reunions, it is my hope that we have each experienced some type of change, bringing us closer to the people we are meant to be. As I reflect on this chapter of my life closing, there are a few people here today that deserve an extra thank you. To Mr. Jimmy Miller, thank you for keeping your door open and being the person I could always reach out to. To Mr. Lee Stover and Mr. Doug Amy, thank you for being enthusiastic and supportive of each one of your students. To Mr. Brandon Alford and Mrs. Terry Butler, thank you for sharing your passion and for the hours of dedication to your kids. Mrs. Butler, your East Rock family is going to miss you. And finally, to Coach Debbie Swartley, thank you for the best times out of my years at East Rock. You have made a lasting impression on me and our team, and I know we will continue to make you proud. So, to my fellow graduates in the class of 2022, congratulations, we made it. I urge us to go into the world with the intent to bring our talents and experiences to others and make the progress that we believe needs to be made. I am excited to see where we can go and what we can do, and I will miss you all greatly. Thank you.
There we go, okay. Good evening. Thank you all so much for coming to celebrate East Rockingham High School's 2022 graduation ceremony. My name is Olivia Simpkins. I'm SCA President as well as Senior Class Vice President. In the fall, I'll be attending Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina. Now, I know it's not a North Carolina school that has gotten all the attention in Elkton, but I think it's safe to say we've all become Tar Heel fans this year. SCA is an organization that provides opportunities for East Rock students to impact our community. This year, our goal has been to bring back unity. Our class survived a global pandemic together, literally missing 1.5 years of our high school experience. We were asked to learn from home, pause sports, cancel prom, and distance ourselves from one another. So what did we do? We connected the best ways we knew how. We put our technology to work and reached out to one another. And while it likely frustrated many of our parents, we snapped, sent TikToks, and FaceTimed. We are finally on the other side. What I can say about us as a class is that we are resilient. We pulled together through a very difficult time. We understand how important our relationships are with one another. SCA knew we needed to continue to bring back unity after so much distance. This year, we held a food drive to benefit EAUS. We were able to help feed so many families in our community that are less fortunate. We also volunteer with the Ruritans, helping raise money that is put directly back into Elkton. The Ruritans not only help our local community, they also provide scholarships to local high school students. It is also important to recognize how much the community does for us. Thank you for supporting our athletics, theater department, clubs, band, and chorus, to name a few. As we prepare to leave this place we have called home for the past 4 years, it's obvious how important community is. I hope we continue with the traditions we have started here. It really doesn't matter if the next 4 years will be spent on a college campus, trade school, or if you simply begin your future career. I know we will make a huge impact on our future communities. In this room, we likely have several future doctors, farmers, teachers, electricians, lawyers, plumbers, and business owners. We are the community. Let us always remember each of us plays a valuable role. We are called to serve one another. Margaret Mead said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world." Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. I am so proud to have served with each of you here at East Rock. Thank you to all of our teachers, administrators, coaches, community members, and families for all of the support you have given us. And to my fellow graduates, congratulations, we did it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jade Scholl, and I'm the treasurer of the senior class. First, I would like to congratulate you all and myself for completing this chapter in our lives. I am incredibly proud of everyone, and you all should be proud of yourselves as well. As we end this chapter, we enter a new one that we get to write on our own. While I too know how overwhelming this new independence is, I assure you that you aren't alone on this journey. Over the past year, when I asked my friends what their plans were after high school, many responded with, "I'm not sure," or something like, "Maybe this, maybe that." Strangely and a little selfishly, I enjoyed hearing that response because I needed the mitigation. It was reassuring to know that others were in the same boat as me, still figuring it out. Currently, I am reading John Green's The Anthropocene Reviewed, and this excerpt has stayed with me. I think two of the fundamental facts of being a person are: one, we must go on, and two, none of us ever walks alone. We may feel alone. In fact, we will feel alone. But even in the crushing grind of isolation, we aren't alone. It made me think, there are almost 8 billion of us in this world. There will always be someone that understands what you're going through, and a community that supports you. Even though we will leave East Rock, the community we made here will stay with us wherever we go. I spent the past 4 years here creating friendships and building relationships that will stick with me throughout the rest of my life. At East Rock, I located a community among us where I felt a sense of belonging, which is something I truly needed in this area, where, unfortunately, it is common to feel excluded because of your differences. But amongst my friends, I felt loved and accepted for who I am. Within our school and within our county, there are some who ask us to deny or be ashamed of our identities. So I am fortuitous to have found a community that is inclusive of others in a place where that didn't seem likely to find. It is imperative, especially right now, to love everyone and treat everyone equally, whatever their race, whatever their sexuality, whatever their gender, and whatever other differences they may have. I can say with pride that I love everyone the same, and so do my friends I've made here at East Rock. As we all move on, take a moment to appreciate and acknowledge the friendships and family that have stood by you over these past 4 years, because I know I wouldn't be who I am today without all of the love and support I've received. So, I want to give all my friends a big thank you for being you. You know who you are. I would also like to thank all of my family out there in the crowd as well for supporting me over all these years. You've all been so encouraging and so loving for the past 18 years, and I know I will always reach success as long as you guys have my back. I know with certitude that I am never alone, and neither are any of you, no matter the situation. So, I wish you all the best of luck, and if you're ever feeling lonely, think back to the wise words of John Green. None of us ever walks alone. And with that, I am out. I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I have to take a selfie. Thank you.
Tonight, we are recognizing the members of the 2021-2022 National Honor Society who are wearing a gold honor sash with the NHS insignia. Additionally, as listed in the program, the students with an H by their names are honor graduates. They have maintained a minimum cumulative average of 3.50 throughout their high school years. All of our honor graduates are wearing gold cords. The number represents their GPA range. Those students wearing 3 honor cords are the highest honor graduates. They have a cumulative GPA of 3.85 or higher. We will be specifically recognizing those students as they receive their diplomas with the words "with distinction" read after their names. We would like to ask those students graduating with distinction to stand now as a group to be recognized. Thank you. We will also be recognizing graduates who participated in the Massanutten Regional Governor School with the words Governor School read after their names. These students will be wearing green honor cords. Congratulations to all these students.
Good evening. My name is Megan Holland, and as one of the senior class officers, I'm excited to stand before you on this day. Before presenting my remarks, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of our administration, faculty, and staff for their daily commitment to the success of every student at East Rock. Thank you. Congratulations to all of us at East Rock, including the entire class of 2022. It is an absolute honor for me to introduce to you a wonderful human, someone who has devoted his life to working with students and helping others. Someone we have been lucky enough to call our principal at East Rock since the doors opened in 2010. Mr. Baylor was never just our principal. He is someone students can look up to and someone students can confide in and trust. He was able to change the path of many students in the most positive way. Mr. Baylor was always willing to have encouraging words and has gone above and beyond to connect with people. We were incredibly blessed to have Mr. Baylor at East Rockingham influencing us the way he did for such a long time. Eric Baylor just finished his 31st year in Rockingham County Public Schools. Mr. Baylor has always been a resident of Rockingham County and is a graduate of Turner Ashby High School as well as James Madison University on an athletic football scholarship. He began his career teaching at Spotswood High School in 1991. During that time, Mr. Baylor was a track and head football coach at Spotswood. After receiving his master's degree in school administration and supervision from James Madison in 2005, Mr. Baylor was the activities and athletic director at Spotswood High. Mr. Baylor worked at Turner Ashby High School as assistant principal starting in 2007 until he became a part of the incredible group of people that opened East Rockingham High School in 2010. There, he was our principal through June of 2021 when he accepted a new role as the work-based learning facilitator for all of Rockingham County. Among so many accomplishments, in 2017, Mr. Baylor was inducted into the Turner Ashby Hall of Fame, and in 2021, he was awarded the Region 2B Award of Merit for having a positive impact on high school athletic and activity programs at the school, conference, regional, and state level. Aside from awards and accomplishment, there is profound impact and influence. In closing, and on behalf of East Rockingham, I would like to thank Mr. Baylor for leaving behind an incredible legacy. Everyone, please help me give a very warm welcome, as it is with great honor that I now turn it over to tonight's guest speaker, Mr. Eric Baylor.
Wow. You know, parents, you all can, parents and grandparents, you guys understand where I'm coming from. When they say all that stuff about you, it really just means you're getting old. All right? So before I begin the planned part of tonight's speech, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Mr. Swagger and Miss Lamb for getting Thursday night on the calendar for this year's graduation. For 12 years, I tried to do that, and it never worked. So my hat's off to you guys. You truly pulled off a miracle. Tonight, I want to share 5 quick stories with you to summarize just a few lessons that I've learned in my 54 years on the planet. Much of the knowledge and feelings I'll share with you stem from my 13 years at East Rock and my 28 years working on the eastern side of Rockingham County. Number 1. The best revenge is to be the boss. In the fall of 1987, I was a 19-year-old student on campus here at JMU. At that time, the party hotspot was Greek Row. Parents, some of you are snickering up there. You know what I'm talking about. On a particular Saturday night, members of the football team, of which I was a member, got into a little bit of a brawl at a frat house on Greek Row. Evidently, some words had been exchanged, some negative words between the two groups, and a melee, of which I was not a part of, ensued. The fraternity house kind of got the short end of the stick that night. The Saturday night ended, and everybody went home. But do you think that was the end of it? No way. On the following afternoon, we were all at practice. We, the football team. When practice ended, it was obvious that our coach, Coach Joe Perzicki, knew all about what had happened at Greek Row. After ripping the entire team for 2 to 3 minutes and running us for an extra 20 to 30 minutes, Coach Perzicki taught us a lesson I've used throughout my life. Joe Perzicki told us about his growing up in the 1960s in Newark, New Jersey. Newark, New Jersey was, and still is, a rough place to live by our standards. Coach P grew up in the Polish section of town, and he was the first member of his family to attend college, much less graduate. He told the team that winning that frat fight was not the definition of revenge or getting even. The ultimate revenge, getting even, etc., would come from you interviewing your adversary for a job in the future. Seeing the look on the face of that person to work for your company or business would be worth its weight in gold, he said. I've had that opportunity to interview a few of these adversaries in my career, and it feels good. But none of us can do it without an education. That education allows us to be in the position to decide who will and will not be part of your organization. Sabrina Shiflett, someday you're going to be that boss. Keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. Number 2, if you can, make a living with your brain over your body. Your brain will last longer. I grew up on a dairy farm in a little hamlet called Sangerville on the western edge of Rockingham County. It was hard work. We milked the cows at 4 a.m. each morning. They got milked on Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, the 4th of July, and the other 361 days a year. There were no days off. So what was the hardest thing we did on that farm? Some would argue that baling hay was the hardest. Josh Hensley, I know you're out there, and I know you've baled some hay. To me, though, we did something called leveling off the silo. That was the toughest chore. Leveling off the silo consisted of my father and I tying a pitchfork around our waists and climbing 70 feet up through a 3-wide-foot tunnel. Once we got to the top, we crawled through a small door and had to level the pile when we filled that silo twice a year. Imagine taking the largest mulch pile you've ever seen and flattening out to level with a pitchfork, a 24-foot wide pile at 70 feet in the air. In the fall, we filled the silo with corn silage. As it fermented, chemistry teachers, you can tell me this, the corn silage would create a variety of poisonous gases, potentially deadly to humans. Nitrogen dioxide is the major deadly gas in that corn silage. I tell you this because one fall, my father and I took our vaunted pitchforks and headed to the top of that silo. At about 40 feet, my father started gasping for breath. I could smell the gas as well. At 45 feet, my father passed out and fell against me. He was over top of me. So imagine a 14-year-old kid climbing down the silo with his father on his back. When Dad came to, thankfully he came to, he said to me, "Son, if you can, make a living with your brain, not your body. Your brain will last longer." Later that year, Dad and I were at the feed mill. We go there weekly to get cattle feed. When we were there, we would see farmers from all over the area. Dad would often ask me, "Son, count the number of fingers on the other farmers and tell me how many have all 10. I started counting, and I would count each time we went to the mill. Very few had all 10. Again, Dad said, "If you can, make a living with your brain, not your body, because your brain will last longer." Will St. John, I know you will make a future living with your brain. Where you at, Will? Number 3, you never know what someone else is going through in life. Several years ago, I was pumping gas at the Sheets on East Market Street. It was a cold day. You could see your breath. I was pumping my $1.70 a gallon gasoline. That's right, $1.70. Remember those days? Out of the blue, a man nearly tackled me. I didn't recognize him at first, but he looked familiar. I mean, this guy hugged me so hard that he nearly knocked the gas pump out of my tank. All right? And we began this awkward conversation. I came to find out he was the parent of a student I taught and coached at Spotswood High School. This student graduated from high school and went into the Army, and he was stationed in the Middle East in the early 2000s. I found out from his father that his son had served 2 tours in Afghanistan. The father told me that when his son called home after asking about mom, dad, sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, the conversation would always turn to how the team was doing. Father told me that day he didn't know how his son would have survived in Afghanistan without tracking the success of his old team, the team that I had coached. I never realized it was that important to someone. I didn't know what he was going through. The success of our team had a direct result on this young man's survival in Afghanistan. Our success raised his spirits. I say tonight, you never know what someone else is going through, and you never know how much influence you have on other people. Make it a positive influence, Christian Contreras. You never know. Number 4, never underestimate the importance of a kind word. In 1996, I was the head football coach at Spotswood High School. I was in the second year as a head coach. I didn't know much. It was game number 8, mid-October, and we had lost to Waynesboro 48-13. That was the worst loss I ever had in my career as a coach. Not only had we just lost that game, but 7 of the other 8 so far that year, we were 1-7 and had just taken that L. That night after the game, I stayed at the school until 2 a.m. watching the film, doing the laundry, and just generally trying to be miserable by myself. As I left school, instead of turning left out of Spotswood toward Massanutten, where I lived at the time, I decided in my infinite wisdom that I was hungry and I'd head to Harrisonburg for a bite. Needless to say, there are not many restaurants open in Harrisonburg at 2:30 a.m. on a Friday night or a Saturday morning. So the Waffle House on 33 East became my gourmet destination. Some of you are laughing because you've been there late night. As I walked in, I found the Waffle House to be serving the usual early AM suspects, college kids, truck drivers, and interstate travelers. I walked in, sat down at the bar stool since I was by myself, and waited. My waitress, a 40-something-year-old with a beehive hairdo, that's right, her hair was a beehive, just no bees. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up on your phone. Logan Fry, look it up. She came over to me and she said, "What you want?" I paused. Again, she asked, "What you want?" In my 1-7 depressed state, I answered, 2 eggs over easy and a kind word. She looked at me funny and asked me again what I wanted. I said, 2 eggs over easy and a kind word. She wrote something down and took the order to the kitchen. 5 minutes or so later, she brought the plate to my table. Sure enough, there were 2 over easy eggs on the plate. She sat it down in front of me and exclaimed, "Here you go." I looked at her and put my hand on the plate. I got her attention and I asked, "Where's my kind word?" She looked at me funny, chewing her gum about 40 miles an hour. Paused for about 10 seconds, and I said to her again, "Where's my kind word?" She kept chewing the gum, looked me square in the eyes, and said, "Don't eat them eggs." Now, that's not exactly the kind word I was looking for to make me feel better. However, never underestimate your ability to use a kind word to make other people feel better. The best example from East Rockingham is Mrs. Rebecca Lamb. And I know she's hiding right now because she's running this. Miss Lamb's retiring after 40 years of teaching well. I had the pleasure, go ahead, clap for Miss Lamb. I had the pleasure to work with Becky for 27 of those 40 years, and I could tell you she always used kind words, doesn't she? Always. She's always positive, right, class of 2022? There's not a more positive person in the world. Miss Lamb's the most positive person I've ever worked with. We will miss you. Tyler Nickel, I think of you, and I think you're in a position to use those kind words that you can put out there to help others feel better. Trust me, you all have more influence on people than you know just by using kind words. And number 5, ultimately, we have to grow up. Can I ask you graduates a question? Is going to Myrtle Beach after graduation still a thing? Okay. Mimi Batista, is it still a thing? All right. Is going to the beach trip anywhere after graduation still a thing? Seems like it is. In 1986, when I sat where you are, yeah, believe it or not, in 1986, I was thinking about that. It was about the only thing I was thinking of when I sat where you are now. My friends and I piled into cars, road trip to Myrtle Beach, and we had fun. But 1 week later, we had to come home. Now you're 18 years old, you're at Myrtle Beach, you're on your way home, and the rest of your life's in front of you. That's when we really went our separate ways. Ultimately, we had to grow up. The realization was finally there around June 25th that life was changing. Things truly would never be the same, and honestly, growing up isn't such a bad thing. Brad Paisley said it best in his 2007 song entitled Letter to Me. The song's about a middle-aged Brad Paisley writing a letter to a 17-year-old Brad Paisley. It highlights what's important to you graduates now and what will become more important to you over time. Here goes. If I could write a letter to me and send it back in time to myself at 17, first I'd prove it's me by saying, look under your bed, there's a Skull can and a Sports Illustrated no one else ever knew you had. And then I'd say, I know it's tough when you break up after 7 months. And yeah, I know you really liked her, and it just don't seem fair, but all I can say is pain like that is fast and it's rare. And oh, you got so much going for you, going right. But I know at 17, it's hard to see past Friday night. She wasn't right for you, and still you feel like there's a knife sticking out of your back, and you're wondering if you'll survive it. You'll make it through this, and you'll see you're still around to write a letter to me. At the stop sign at Tomlinson and 8th, always stop completely. Don't just tap your brakes. And when you get a date with Bridget, make sure the tank is full. On second thought, forget it. That one turns out kind of cool. Each and every time you have a fight, just assume you're wrong and Dad is right. And you should really thank Miss Brinkman. She spends so much extra time. It's like she sees a diamond underneath and she's polishing you till you shine. And oh, you got so much going for you, going right. But I know at 17, it's hard to see past Friday night. Tonight's the bonfire rally, but you're staying home instead because if you fail algebra, Mom and Dad will kill you dead. But trust me, you'll squeak by and get a C, and you're still around to write this letter to me. You've got so much up ahead. You'll make new friends, and you should see your kids and wife. And I'll end by saying, have no fear. These are nowhere near the best years of your life. I guess I'll see you in the mirror when you're a grown man. P.S. Go hug Aunt Rita every chance you can. And oh, you got so much going for you, going right. But I know at 17, it's hard to see past Friday night. I wish you'd study Spanish. I wish you'd take a typing class. I wish you wouldn't worry and let it be. Hey, I'd say have a little faith and you'll see if I could write a letter to me. So, East Rockingham, class of 2022, thank you for your positive influence on my life. All of you are special to me. And remember, number one, the best revenge is to be the boss. Number two, make a living with your brain over your body. Your brain will last longer. Number three, you never know what someone else is going through. Number four, never underestimate the power of a kind word. And number five, ultimately, we have to grow up. In summary, and again, I'll requote Brad Paisley, and I'll end by saying, have no fear. These are nowhere near the best years of your life. Congratulations, and God bless you all, the class of 2022.
Mr. Swaggart, it is my honor to present to you the class of 2022. Sierra Ann Ocker, with distinction. Cameron Walker Allison, with distinction. George McKinley Austin III, with distinction, Governor's School. Amelia Grace Alexandra Bautista. Joanna Batista Jimenez. Haley Jean Bell Shanebrook. Ariel Rain Bentz. Cassidy Nicole Bethel. Ashlyn Brooke Blevins. Celeste Hortense Manuel Bonduel. Madison Paige Boyers. Dylan Ray Bradshaw. Caden Lee Breeden. Travis Allen Breeden. Tyler Lee Breeden. Demetrius Solomon Brown. William Anthony Brown. Allison Beth Buckmaster, with distinction. Noah Lee Campbell. Savannah Paige Campbell. Tyler Wesley Carden. Faith Lynn Carper. Zachary Tyler Carrier. Olivia Townsend Cash. Naomi Marie Cave. Brianna Grace Coleman, with distinction. Erin Nicole Comer, with distinction. Talia Lee Condry. Rachel Renee Conley. Ronnie Conley III. Christian Javier Contreras. Sarah Cortez. Angel Gabriel Cortez. Carson Michael Davis with distinction. Courtney Grace Davis. Zachary Bryce Davis. Jocelyn Erica Dean. Bryce Edward Dean. Molly Hannah Dibb with distinction. Brianna Nicole Doffelmeyer. Haley Lynn Doffelmeyer. Carly Paige Dove with distinction. Haley Bryce Downey with distinction. Peyton Chad Downey. Emily Christine Eppert with distinction. Kaylee Dale Eppert. Michael Douglas Eppert. Dantrell Cornelius Evans. Noah Douglas Farrell. Jonathan Andrew Fiornacente. Margot Jaden Fox with distinction. Chloe Elise Fry. Logan Michael Fry. Megan Marie Elizabeth Gallagher. Yvonne Maria Garcia. Alejandro Michel Gomez Garcia. Melody Page Graham. Sarah Elizabeth Harlow. Catherine Annie Rose Hawk. Lauren Michelle Hawkins. Dream Kaylin Hensley. Joshua Lee Hensley. Taylor Nicole Hensley with distinction. Brianna Faith Herring. Jaden Shamar Hicks. Kirsten May Hendel. Megan Alexandria Holland with distinction. Michelle Ashley Howdyshell with distinction. America Lynn Jeffrey. Callista Lynn Jenkins. Paris Monet Jones. Emmeline Keenan. Cooper Gillum Keys with distinction. Malia Rochelle Kyle with distinction. Hunter Dre Kissling. Caitlin Faith Knight. Timothy Evan Canup with distinction. Jarrett William Lamb. McKenna Elizabeth Lamb. Richard Tyler Lamb. Gina Lynn Lambert with distinction. Colin Michael Landis. McKenna Sue-Ann May. Caitlin May McDonald. Caleb Thomas Meadows, with distinction. Cortland Ann Meadows, with distinction. Jaden Scott Meadows. Jamison Riley Meadows, with distinction. Zachary Lynn Meadows. Ernesto Nazareth Mendoza. Colby David Miller. Emma Grace Miller, with distinction. Ethan Edward Mitchell. Kara Marie Munger. Blake Andrew Montgomery. Gavin Isaiah Marino. Brianna Suzanne Morgan, with distinction. Haley Nicole Morris. Kara Lynn Morris. Caitlin Bryn Morris. Sahara Jean Mullen. Bernard Charles Najinski. Jen Naranjo. Jessica Naranjo Correa. Tyler Christopher Nickel, with distinction. Emma Page O'Haver. Karina Hope Peachy, with distinction, Governor School. Natalie Renee Pence. Joan Ashley Petrillo. Kylie Love Phillips. Anthony Tomas Ponce Pacheco II. Alyssa Posey. Jared Riley Price. Hayden Andrew Quinn. Olivia Brooke Ream. Juan Carlos Resendez Perez, Jr. Daniela Sofia Rivera Soto. Kenton Dean Schroeder. Allie Renee Sexton. Allison Kate Shiflett with distinction. Austin Erman Shiflett. Madison Grace Shiflett. Sabrina Nicole Shiflett. Jade Alexis Scholl with distinction. Olivia Rose Simpkins with distinction. Jaden Cade Smith with distinction. Sarah Ann Smith. Colin Decker Snyder. William Austin St. John with distinction, Governor School. Patrick Robert Stapleton with distinction, Governor School. Caleb Cameron Taylor. Abigail Rebecca Thompson with distinction. Aiden Michael Thompson. Julio Tapi. Brandon Lee Van Evra. Kylie Grace Varnum with distinction. Esmerali Villa Mateo. Jacob Ryan Washington. Grace Georgette Watts with distinction. Lauren Scott Weeks. Noah Peyton Wilkins. Jonah Guy Witter. Haley Nicole Wolf. Scott Barnes Yelverton II.
Well, this is the part of the evening where the graduates are super excited and ready for this to end, and then I get the job of making the last remarks. So, as a first-year principal, I've had two speeches, big speeches to give. The first one was during an awards ceremony, and I had a nice phrase for the end for the students, and Mr. Miller spoke before me, used the exact same phrase and stole my thunder. This whole speech is about Miss Becky Lamb. Call me out, I know. I see how it is, but I'm going to go ahead and go through it again because we all love Becky Lamb, and I'm going to skip through a little bit of the beginning and let's let you know some of the details of how she's been and what she's done for us here at East Rock. She has organized every graduation for East Rock since the beginning, and after 40 years teaching social studies, 39 with Rockingham County, she will begin her journey into a much-deserved retirement at the conclusion of this ceremony. Words can't express how much she will be missed. So once again, please join me in giving a round of applause to Miss Becky Lamb for what she's done for East Rock. And our chorus is going to give another song here, so chorus members, go ahead and move up with Miss Butler. now the time has come that you've all been waiting for. Would the senior class of 2022 please rise? By the power and authority vested in me by the Rockingham County School Board of Education, Dr. Oscar Scheichel, the Commonwealth, Virginia, and the faculty and staff of East Rockingham High School, I declare you graduates of East Rockingham High School class of 2022. You may turn your tassel. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2022.